afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast. I'm your host, Imperial Dane, Master Propaganda, Hero of Zodiak, Defender of the Fatherland, off here, an exciting 1 versus 1. Picture the scene. The Ostfront, 1944, October. Somewhere close to the Polish border, or even within the Polish border. In the south, Zodiak advancing here for the Soviet Union, socialism. Comrade Stalin and the 10th Tank Corps slowly approaching Warsaw here. In the north, defending the fatherland. Holding to hold back the Russians is SteffenBK. Rolling out here with the Großdeutschland Panzerdivision. Holding to stop the Russian advance here and keep Warsaw safe for now. Actually, Warsaw might have fallen by this point, but you know, details, who cares? Anyways, we got mobile defense, assault support, and spearhead here for Steffen. Lots of target doctrines with infantry Panzerfaust versus Zodiac's armored assault guard rifle and guard motor. Lots of guard rifle bulletins, and certainly bulletins with T-35s with triple infantry for Zodiac. Going for double constant start. MD-42 going to do start there for SteffenBK as he advances for the fatherland. MD-42 moving aggressively towards seats inside. Pretty risky. In fact, we see he's going for a triple sort of prong push, which is the Wehrmacht. It's incredibly risky. I mean, if like Zodiac sort of pushed in the right way, he would really hurt him. I said early scout Coco, for example, you know, quickly they'll run the MD-42 here, so this is a very bold opening move here by SteffenBK, very aggressive in a way, but also certainly has the potential of going wrong. But now that it pays off, I mean, he's going to get a lot of territory, plus an idea of where Zodiac. If Zodiac on hand is going for, I'd say, less aggressive start here versus SteffenBK, which is interesting to note. Also noting a support company start here with a maximum away. So there'll probably be a combined arms approach here from Zodiac, not just a full conscript push. More going to do Sarang for SteffenBK and the Großdeutschland Division. Upon them scored by the MD-42, contributing in here. And a bit of movement here in the west, going to try and push for the fuel point, trying to sort of bypass Zodiac's forces. Zodiac probably thinking he wouldn't do that. I mean, you know, that wouldn't be the socialist way. But they're National Socialist, Petrov. Oh, shit. Going to use it as the engineers, moving up here, and it's going to get sneak behind here. Very clever move there by Steffen, very clever move. Definitely, I think, displays a flexible and agile mind that is capable of thinking in non-linear paths, which is actually a surprisingly good skill to have. That can definitely throw off some players from time to time. Plus, of course, it just actually just focus more on the actual targets of how to get them. So, fun move there. Third going to be squat there for Steffen. Zodiac there could go for another maximum, go for multi, go for more infantry, though he definitely needs to go for something here. And there you go, another maxim. So double conscripts versus double maxims. Going to need some to secure the fuel punish from the neutral. We got conscript flanking in there. Good move by Zodiac. He's going to probably need more troops here to flash out Steffen, but his forces are themselves rather extended right now versus Steffen, as he wasn't prepared for this, so he's just been moving elsewhere. So this definitely makes this a really strong move for Steffen. He might even get the fuel point in east here. Pioneers for them before 2 makes it hard there for Zodiac. So right now Zodiac's in the situation there that he's not really making a ton of progress versus Steffen. And Steffen by going for another MD-42, so triple grenadiers, double MD-42s versus double conscripts and double maxims. Very interesting sort of build order there from Zodiac. Definitely not a standard one from Steffen, but I wouldn't quite say it's very unusual either. It's just on the rarer side, but it is an effective one if you know how to use your machine guns actively. And of course, you know how to do really cool stuff with the infantry like Steffen just did there. But it is being suppressed by the MD-42, is flanking the Maxim, laying down a suppressive volley of death, threatening to leave the Maxim crew a few men short at any moment. Maxim pulling up there for Zodiac, for the motherland. And then getting the MD-42 out in the open. Suppressing that, which tried to suppress the other one. Now it's might risk getting suppressed back here. So it's a triangle of suppression here, if possible. They're going for 2 force back, so conscript flank from the south, putting some pressure on there. In the south, you got conscripts going to use, but the conscripts so low health there. Even as well, they might have a chance. Yeah, we go with the Gunneries just for straight at them. So just trying to fight a range, allowing the conscripts to do more damage as exposed out and so open, while still remaining in heavy covers. Right here, Steffen, I think, pushes luck, but still, even then, he's been able to do some damage. Then we got MD-42 being moved westwards there to put pressure on. In the east there, constant moving ahead. Mines being laid down to defend the fuel point. Steffen aware he might not be able to defend it with infantry, so he does the next big thing, which is mine it up, making harder there for Zodiac to get to the fuel point. So I think that's a pretty good plan B there for Steffen. Make it harder for Zodiac to get to it. I mean, he can still do it, but it's going to require a lot more micromanagement, which could certainly force him to divert attention away from elsewhere. So this could slightly work out for Steffen. But of course, he's already getting mines because he himself is also laying down mines. He's obviously anticipating Steffen here to push hard with light vehicles. The light vehicles very much part of the Wehrmacht meta game. While there are still a few that go for tier 3 rushes, the vast majority have switched back to just going for light vehicles. And in that regard, Zodiak here, being the smart Marxist he is, thinks ahead and begins pulling up for mines that will try and catch up with vehicles who can deal with them. He's also going for Guard Rifle in this case to go for, well, Guards Riflemen, so that way deal with the vehicles more efficiently. Plus the Guardsmen with DP light machine guns also work pretty well versus infantry. Still, I mean, they got slightly nerfed, but even then the Guardsmen are very good infantry overall. But it is interesting he went for Guard Rifle instead of Guard Motor. I mean, considering the old situation, the fact he's not going for a lot of infantry, like Guard Rifle is not going to be quite nearly as efficient as Guard Motor. There's a possibility that Zodiak probably just misclicked. That is definitely not impossible there. That is what happened there with the Zodiac. He wanted to click Guard Motor, but his hand went slightly too far. Who knows? I certainly don't. I was skirmishing up here. As Zodiac's actually managed to get back most of the map here from Steffen. In this regard, Steffen, while again playing aggressively and sort of flexibly, rather like the strong point trying to sources of battle. As the Wehrmacht, you kind of need that if you want to hold the map here. So he's again playing very aggressive with the Wehrmacht, but it's not necessarily what it super excels at, and can result in these situations and then lose a lot of your map very fast. He does have tech. He's also going for a mortar. There's a turbo gun at least, double MD402 and a mortar. That's very interesting here. Pioneers rushing against the Maxim here. Trying to catch them off guard. Not quite working out. But there you go in the South Guard from Pulse by the M42 gun. It is also out behind the heavy cover. And there you go. Maxim rushed off the field as well. S1 field remains intact. Mine goes off. Killing several Pioneers as Zodiac keeps up the attack on the core point. Going for a field gun. Zodiac is clearly very concerned about 7 rushing out light vehicles. Like a flame for a half track or a 2-2 would be quite a headache here for Zodiac, so he's pretty much just right now planning for his worst nightmare. And he actually suffered a wipe the Pioneers lost. That will hurt Steffen. That will slow him down. Zodiac probably has upgraded his gun with DP light machine guns. Very good, but he needs to get his hands on one of the fuel points. Even if he's managed to cut it off briefly, he still needs to get it because Steffen still ends up getting more fuel than Zodiac, and that's definitely not what you want your enemy to get. Ooh, nice hit on the console. That's definitely going to force retreat if they weren't already suppressed, in which case they should have been retreated anyways. This being slowly cut to ribbons. Maxim hanging back. We got the Guardsman once more. We got the SIS-3 being carted forwards as well. And PPSH-41s, they're rating ready here for Zodiac. The PPS-41 by was a copy of a Finnish submachine gun, which they got their hands on during the Winter War. So, little fun fact there. S-mine's been cleared up, but the engineers really well done. These moving up there to, well, defend the field point, but it's all been lost. And the south here, MD42 is going to flank behind the Maxim. The Guardsmen should be able to then counter-flank and deal with the MD42 as long as they take the right path. The Maxim will have to hang about. They're suffering some damage until he can flank it properly and deal with it fast. And it looks like, oh dear, he's retreating here, but still there's going to be high risk of losing the Maxim, at which point the MD42 can turn to deal with the Guardsmen. There you go, wiped. I think took too deep a path here. Well, we got... Oh, no, Maxim is actually to defend. There you go, grenade from the MD42, and... Good hit there, good hit, but doesn't actually get machine gunner. Field gun, the bombarding, there you go. Almost got the MD42 there. Doesn't wipe it. Still pushes it back. Up north here, Maxim there supporting the unit squad here by the eastern field pump, but it has been reclaimed by the Germans once more. Steffen at this rate could easily get away with a fast move for tier 3 and really put the screws on Zodiac's thumbs. So that is going to be quite a bit of a predicament there. Steffen keeping up with aggressive tactics, flanks and whatnot. Though Zodiac is certainly trying to push back as hard as he can, though having only had 2 transport initiatives work with those initiatives. Oh, he's going to steal the MD, but he wiped another Pioneer squad. At least in this case, Steffen managed to take up, still losing 2 Pioneer squad essentially, and it does involve getting a Maxim. It's costly since again, he does need me, like wants to push ahead there, so that's just another 200 manpower he has to expend on that. So that's definitely working out to an extent there for Zodiac. Of course, there's the issue that Steffen now has 3 machine guns rather than 2. And 3 machine guns is better than 2. That's for sure. Look at this, Fritz. We have 2 machine guns. Ha ha ha. Oh, it's so fun. 3 machine guns. That's more than 2, you know. Yeah, I can count, Jorgen. I can count. But you do come from Bavaria. What's that got to do with anything? Well, you know, but... No, I don't know. Shut up. Comes being suppressed by the MD-42. Mortar on the way there for Zodiac's had enough there. The fascist support weapon. He's going to bring up his own artillery. He's going to blast them back to Berlin. Or at least, you know, back towards the German border. MD-42 dealing with a flanking guard squad, which is not able to get off damage. They need to retreat down very fast. They're in fact already pinned down. And there we go. Zodiac retreats them rather than waste precious elite infantry in the northeast. Here we got engineers fighting a very lopsided fight against the pioneers here. No mines here, though at least he got the fuel point. In fact, he's got both fuel points, and they are both tenuously connected. So they are both fuel points under socialist control. Also, that just looks a bit weird, but that's basically just... Apparently all of these zone boundaries, there's just this little gap here where there's like a sliver, very tiny sliver, maybe just a couple of millimeters that just isn't part of any territory. Zodiac would probably try and take it as fast as possible, and Steffen would certainly benefit from moving ahead as well as fast as possible as well. Going to do sneaking about here, going to head for the fuel point again. And there we go. Zodiac pulling for the Tango Battalion command. For the light vehicles and the light tanks. Mortar being engaged with the Grenadiers for the light machine and Gewehr. Remember, Helmut, just like we trained, pull the trigger, aim at the heads. Wait, no, it's the other way around. Aim at the heads, then pull the trigger. I made that mistake again. Last time I lost a finger to that. Maximum then needs to fall back to the gun as the Grenadiers are flanking in. It's not going to have to support. They could risk losing another Maxim there to Steffen, which would definitely be most unfortunate. Guardsmen sitting about here behind Steffen's rear lines. Not bad. Both fuel points once more in the hands of Steffen and the Großdeutschland, putting a bit of pressure on the 10th Tank Corps. Back here, Maximum retreating. No vehicles so far for Zodiac. No T-70s. No half-tanks. No S-6. Steffen, while he has gone for the light mechanized company, is yet to make use of checking out this. It does feel a bit weird. He theoretically could just push for Tier 3 instead. My guess in this case is Steffen wanted to be ready for any sort of situational developments. He didn't want necessarily to pull the mobile defense, and he didn't feel like he was that far behind. Maybe. It's a bit hard to say exactly what Steffen was thinking. It's certainly a bit of a curious case. So they're heading for the eastern fuel. Max and they are about to get flanked though, as it deals for the guard squad, flanking out behind. But not anticipating a Maxim there. And then there I go, country to the rescue. Just a few seconds too late, but the Maxim is rushed off. Overall, the Zodiac is struggling with map control. He is struggling. He's still not going for any light vehicles, no light tanks. You sort of figured begin pushing for that soon. Unless he's planning to rush out a T-3476, in which case he should consider getting up the mechanized armor company and begin pushing for that. The longer he lingers here, the less good for him. Mortar has to fall back. They're both mortars, in fact, and they're falling back. Skirmishing in the west, quickly halted by the Grenadiers. Nice to hold up the inside the house. Grabbing the eastern fuel point again. Grenadiers moving up to try and flash up the rations. And we got more reinforcements there for the first Grenadier squad. With another Grenadier squad and a heavy machine gun team ready to provide supportive fire for the Grenadiers. Back here, nothing further still happening for Zodiac. Just reinforcement healing, but no great leaps of progress for the motherland. Grenadiers moving up there, MD-42 providing supportive fire as well, and there go the country just to retreat. I mean, this is just too much firepower. Heavy machine gun, light machine gun, plus 2 Grenadier squads. It's a lot of firepower that can very quickly punish Zodiac if he does not retreat on the spot. The south engineers suppressed by Maxim. Maxim will grab the center victory point. Zodiac Still not light vehicles. It certainly feels like he's planning for a mechanized armor company and a fast T-34-76, but that requires he goes there before Steffen hits him with a Panzer IV, because Steffen is going to hit him with a Panzer IV. So I'm a bit curious as to what exactly Zodiak is thinking here. If he's too preoccupied with the front line, is forgetting about his teching or his other sort of vehicular options, what exactly is going on with the Zodiak there. Because the longer it delays, the more advantage he gives to Steffen. And there you go. Finally got it. Mechanized armor company. Well, that'll probably be a T-34-76. Over the Panzer IV, most likely hitting the field first. He might have to go for an SU-5 to counter that. Though, of course, he could go for SU-6s. A pair of them could also do quite a bit of harm. But there you go. Panzer IV on the way for Steffen. There goes Deutschland. The Panzerkampfwagen 4. And we got assault support there for SteffenBK. Sturmunterstützung. Air support is slowly being rolled out to provide support here for this element of the Groß Deutschland, with logistical support also being promised. And who knows, maybe heavy armor support. Constantly up here behind the Maxim. And we got submachine the weather facility. It's about only him 2 conscripts, at least going to make use of that, which is good. Nasty motor around there on the Maxim. Maxim recruit here and secure once more for Zodiak, now giving him 3 machine guns, leaving Steffen with only 2. Slightly shifting the machine gun balance in the favour of the motherland. Pioneers all up, we got the T-34 there for Zodiak, but the Panzer IV has nonetheless hit the field first, giving Steffen the armoured advantage. Though Zodiak does have a field gun, he does have guard squads, where Steffen's only got the Panzer IV, so if Zodiak were to play his cards correctly, he might have a good chance there, sort of stopping the Panzer IV and if not destroying it outright and then putting himself an arm advantage. Ooh, misses the Panzer IV there by several centimeters. Second shot that does hit, and the gunner managed to avoid a trip to the Gulag. And these push back, and there you go, got the T-34-76 out for Zodiak. Gunners are being suppressed by another Maxim. Panzer IV going for the field gun. Maxim turning about, and we got the T-34-76 heading out as well, getting close to the front line. Panzer IV, 3/4 health. Looks like he might push for it. Does an anti-tank grenade? He does not actually have any anti-tank grenades. Removing any option there for staying down. The Panzer IV may be, you know, taking out with the field gun and the T-34 at the same time. But at this point, it seems like Zodiak's just going to pull back his field gun for reinforcement, as he's not comfortable with it being so low in health and numbers, which is certainly not a bad idea at all. A lot of people generally don't consider pulling back their anti-tank weapons to just reinforcing here, but it's actually in many cases a good idea to preserve experience, of course, ensure you don't have to recruit at a really bad time. So I like this move by Zodiak. One part of me kind of wishes he could try and go for the Panzer IV, but overall I think Zodiak made the right decision there. Still, he's also got better map control here versus Steffen, noting that they're actually pretty close in terms of victory points. He's also pushing up the eastern side, but there's a single MD-42, which the T-34 could clear out, and in fact might be sending the T-34 to do just that. Or not. Look! Sergey! It's a lake! It's a puddle, Petrov! It's a puddle, you idiot! Don't make me drown you in it! Again! Again? Well, you blacked out so you don't remember, but I drowned you after the last time you pointed out a puddle. Really? Yes. That's not nice. No. Fixing up the Panzer IV. So they can soon go for second T-34 from the 6. Is Steffen going to play for a targeting? Well, just one Panzer IV could be a bit risky, but at least it wouldn't be entire Fear Syndrome, though I think it would benefit them from considering an over blitz just one with extra fuel, and maybe some munitions to, you know, set up something for some strafing runs, maybe. When he does go for a target, so they're certainly going to need some anti-tank weapons to deal with that. So at least the second field gun, of course, an HD5 would also be a pretty good choice to help deal with any Tiger tanks that Steffen might lob at him. Sturmovic's ready here now for Zodiak. He immediately calls it in here. The way he's doing it doesn't seem particularly efficient. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of line of sight. And remember, air support requires line of sight. He in most cases does not spot for itself that it used to. They'd rather remove that for, well, obvious reasons. Looks like a anti-tank guard completely bit the dust there, leaving Zodiak now with 2 counter squads there. He definitely needs to replace those losses because just 2 infantry squads is generally not a good idea. Now the T-34 there for Zodiak and the 10th Tank Corps. Maximum fighting out with the machine gun, except the machine gun isn't responding back. And there you go, quite a few strafing rounds into the small dugout there. That's R2 Sturmovik straight away. And there you go, anti-tank and 5, tank 5, T-34-76 almost done there. R2 Sturmovik continue to fly back. And there we go, almost got the Panther 4. That'd be quite a loss there for Steffen. But the Panther 4 survives the encounter with the Sis-3, at least this time. Straight into the enemy base as well. Steffen is very much in the defense now versus Zodiak. Again, his Tiger play, while theoretically could be quite impactful once he gets it, does mean a lot of his economy is on hold until he gets it out. And that's basically allowing Zodiak to be a lot more aggressive with his T-34s, and that's very much putting Steffen into a rather awkward spot to, well, you know, put it frankly. T-34-76 moving in. I think Zodiak should consider as a mines here and there. I mean, he's got a sort of very advanced position, so mines would make it much harder for Steffen to just push forwards through that. And he definitely needs more infantry as well. I should probably consider some more guard squads. Machine gun wiped here by field gun fire. 8 kills, pretty good work there by Zodiak, to be honest. Not a lot of players tend to use the ability, but used correctly, it can actually be quite annoying for your Vermont opponent to get some good wipes. More engineers later for Zodiak to repairs. That's definitely a good idea. I mean, ensuring you get your tanks as fast into the battle again as possible is always, I would say, a good idea. In that regard, 702 Pioneers really, of course, helps him a ton, and will also help him a ton once he decides to go for the Tiger, in which case he can also keep that one fixed up fast enough. Panther needs to have that down, but there's no infantry support, so again, there's no way of snaring up the Panther nasty punishing, which allows you to get close to the field gun and probably wipe it out, which is going to be quite unpleasant there for Zodiak. Particularly if Steffen grabs it, as it's going to give him more support there for his Tiger, and of course his tanks, and just put more pressure on Zodiac's tanks. So, even lost a maximum there again. Zodiak definitely needs to be a bit careful about that, and sadly there's been no mines laid down, though we do have another guard squad with DP light machine guns on the way. Maximum remaining low there. But overall, Zodiac's getting a lot of fuel. Steffen is not quite getting nearly as much. Still no cargo trucks, and certainly no artillery field officers. In fact, he's not been using the doctrine at all, despite having chosen everything in good time. There's less sort of active usage of the doctrine. I mean, the artillery field officer, for example, is just really great, and the Open Blitz can be pretty good as well. So, I definitely feel like you should be at least making use of some of those. Personally. T-34-76 is there being repaired. Guard moving ahead here. And this under fire here. Panther being pushed back with a guardsman. Steffen is a couple of minutes away from the Tiger, not because of fuel, but because of manpower. And again, that's another sort of risk about the Tiger team. At some point, you're going to have to put a lot of your manpower on hold, and depending on the situation, that can be pretty risky. Like your opponents are getting more than map, as you're then forced to play a lot more defensively and cautiously. So that's another reason why I generally sort of recommend not just rushing straight ahead for the Tiger, but usually building up a certain force, so you can at least that way afford it a bit, because tanks can sort of fight, without having to spend manpower to constantly enforce them. So in that regard, tanks very much make it easier for you to long-term go for a Tiger or anything like that. Zodiak here going for the Katyusha rocket launcher. If he's anticipating a Tiger, he's not showing it for sure. I mean, Steffen though has 2 Tiger doctrines. Tigers are very much becoming a part of the meta again, so I mean, this might just be Zodiak sort of just reacting sort of how used to and has used to for months, because again, Tiger really hasn't been, much part of the meta for quite some time, so this might just be Zodiak sort of just playing you how used to and kind of forgetting that the Tiger is very much a threat that's on the table now in the minds of a lot of Armour players. Yes, they'll never see it coming. You mean it's a really big tiger? Yes, they'll never see it coming. But why? It's really big. Exactly why. They just can't believe it anymore. Machine crew wiped. That's a bit of loss there for Steffen for the Groß Deutschland. Panzer IV slowly approaching eventually to Schützen. Next and there being repulsed. Oh, almost wiped in fact. We get air support out here for Zodiak again. Autocannon fire there, raking the infantry on the ground. P2S is secured by the Pioneers. Troops being suppressed. Eastern point be short there. Zodiac's 2 focuses is not sending forces to stop that. Allowing Steffen to just secure the eastern side with a single infantry unit. Very good work there, very good work. Flares down here from Zodiak, and we got the Katyusha firing there on the center, taking out the Pack 40 in a devastating rocket barrage, but also taking out the machine gun as well there. Severe losses for Steffen again. His economy is on hold as he's waiting for the Tiger tank. So he's taking quite a pummeling here. His forces certainly taking quite a bit below. He's rushing in the Panzer IV. He's blitzing it. He's risking it to try and take out the Katyusha, but instead ends up taking, I think, needless damage and risks losing the Panzer IV, but he does end up saving it in this case. Really close call there, though. And Steffen there fostering force, further delays the target, further delaying everything else. This is... Oh, good move there by Steffen that's hit the dirt there, getting the Grenadiers and overwhelming them. But yeah, he's constantly laying that Tiger tank, and that's, I mean, however long Zodiak can keep doing that, of course, the better, because it just, again, means Steffen just keeps having a large part of his economy doing nothing. Whereas, again, Zodiak can just keep actively using it. That's honestly a part of the cost, of any heavy tank. Like, there's just this part where your economy just doesn't do anything in a lot of situations, and that's not really something you can afford. Your opponent just keeps pressuring you. So, that's really got for Zodiak. Though, again, I am wondering if Zodiak is truly aware of the possibility of a Tiger tank, because if he was, part of me feels like he would aim for actually fast, at least something with a better chance of penetrating the Tiger tank from the front. Panzer IV there, super close to efficiency too. T-34s need repairs. Smoke screen down there. Preparing for a push here. Basically off screen the line of fire the SIS-3 gun there. And there you go. Steffen can finally call in the Tiger tank. After so long, he is finally able to unleash the might of Deutschland upon the Russian foe. Tiger reporting, there's the Russians, I'm here to shoot. Ah, there they are. Open fire, Fritz. And Sergei just got absolutely obliterated by a single 88mm shell there from the Tiger tank. 2 more bites of dust, and the entire unit basically gets wiped here by the Tiger tank as it moves forward. T-34 shot there, bounces. Guardsman shooting, slight deflection damage. Then T-4 taking it, penetrating hit. Then we got buttoning up. They're going to try and flank the Tiger tank in right here. Steffen Martin got a 12 contra with this Tiger. Loses now. That's going to be absolutely massively bad here for Steffen. Again, considering all that he just put on hold for the sake of the Tiger tank. But there you go. Down to half of red, though. Did get an unit squad. It did get a Tiger, or T-34 there. Walker 265 here to silence the supporting weapon behind the Tiger tank. This time, though, with the, shall we say, less effect. In fact, missing both the machine gun and the field gun. Oh, never mind. Got a hit on the machine gun, almost taking it out. I imagine Zodiac's response to the Tiger tank will be to go for at least one H-85 tank destroyer. There we go. H-85 Tiger tank, half health, falling back. Points are secured. And constantly they're being cut to ribbons by the double grenadiers for the light machine guns force. Grenadiers being suppressed to the maximum, grenadiers pulling forwards, H-5 closing in to the front line against fascism. Steffen, I would say, is playing his Tiger pretty risky when he's sitting in at half health, more or less. I mean, he's definitely, I think, taking Zodiak a bit lightly. I mean, he's basically just ignoring the possibility of a tank destroy mines or anything like that that just, quickly punish him if he makes a mistake with a Tiger at half health. Max and Mark looked out, moving up and flanking the Tiger tank, getting off some hits there. T-34 gaining veteranly too. Air reconnaissance got the H-5 moving up here. Panther moving up to the front. H-5 can't decide which to shoot, but goes in for the Panther 4. Penetrating hit there with its 85mm gun. T-34 moving up his here. We got the Tiger tank moving in. Another hit there from the H-5 on the Panther 4. T-34 needs to fall back now. Now, comrades. I need to turn the H-5 to deal with it. Steffen here, though, is pushing his Tiger tank rather far ahead, and there. Good hit on the Tiger tank. Almost lost it. Almost lost. Exposing the side rearmor here to the T-34 6 as well, but looks like, oh, the Pioneer transport are being pushed off. T-34 bounces off the Tiger's 100mm thick arm. There you go. Panther blitzing in, knocked out. I think that was actually a sacrificial move there by Steffen to preserve his Tiger tank. He was willing to sacrifice the veteran Panzer crew. A costly decision there by Steffen, but certainly I think a price he had to pay, after extending the Tiger tank needlessly. He was lucky there that Zodiak didn't just push the H-5 a bit further in and try to destroy it with it. He'd probably been able to get away with it too. Still, right now, map control wise, it's looking pretty bad for Steffen. He's on the defensive. His Tiger tank didn't quite have the impact he hoped for, and he's just thrown away his most veteran Panzer crew. Things are looking pretty grim here for the Großdeutschland as the 10th Tank Corps looks set to push onwards towards Warsaw, brushing the Panzer there, the Großdeutschland aside. There you go, Panzerfaust. So he ignored, forgot about the grenades. All-way rocket fire here. Could hit the Tiger tank, or the Pioneers repairing it. There we go. Numerous Pioneers wiped out. Just one Pioneer surviving, though he did get the Katyusha. Still, that's going to be quite expensive there for Steffen. That's going to take some time to repair. That would have been great for Zodiak had he not lost his Katyusha there. Right now, victory points are also very much in favour here of Zodiak at 309 versus Steffen's 148. That is definitely bad news here for the Germans. Take up happening. There you go, counter rushing in. The MD-42 trying to turn about too slow, and the counters are too fast. Hoorah! Take that, you fascist assholes! Die! And Zodiak is going for the KV-1 heavy tank now. That's an interesting choice here, an interesting choice. I mean, he can take more hits from the Tiger, obviously, and so no other sources. So he might use that basically as a sponge to draw the Tiger's fire with the H-5, then deals all of the damage. I mean, that could, be a strategic approach there from Zodiak. I do think he should begin mining some more. Like, there's not a lot of mines down from him. Admittedly, Steffen's also largely stopped mining as well. And he could also benefit from it at the right places. KV-1 out there for Zodiak. Gunneries versus Guardsmen. Catching the open, there you go. In the centre, the Gunneries running to the K1 here. Also exposing themselves, obviously, to the K1. And exposing the K1 to the Grenadiers. But importantly, telling Steffen that he's got a KV-1 tank out in the field. Grenadiers there, successfully falls back. The Guardsmen with the support of an MD-42 team, very good. Mortar moving up here as well. So Steffen is playing that quite aggressively. That easily wiped there by Zodiak's things. And there you go, K1 moving up. T-34 dodgy shot there from the pack forward. We got target weak point now. Penetrating hit, they're stunning it up, and we got some damage there on the K1 as well here. Tiger tank moving forwards, crushing trees aside. So there can only be one heavy panzer on this field, and it's sure as hell not the Russian one. Fun fact about the K1, it was actually quite expensive to make and also difficult to maintain. It had a series of flaws there, so I mean, in the longer term, it just got discontinued because it wasn't very practical for the Russians to keep producing it, to be honest. So they did try to keep things going with the KV-85, which was a KV tank with an 85mm gun, a bigger turret with more armour on it. Basically, to the KV-1 series, what the T-35 was to T-34 6, but there you go. Main gun out on the K1 there, Zodiak pushing a bit too far ahead here. Steffen blitzing his Tiger after it, but not quite able to catch up. He's into reverse blitzing, which has got to be quite difficult to do. Tiger tank moving back up, needs to be careful there. The HE5 is about. There we go, good hit on the rear arm of the Tiger tank. Bad news there for Steffen. He's actually got a lot of fuel. Going for a Stug there, that's definitely a good choice. Steffen, I think, to support the Tiger tank. Tiger tank just going to get knocked out. Oh dear, Steffen, I think, made some mistakes there in management. Shot bounced. Oh, he's going to lose the Tiger, isn't he? Yup, Tiger down. Tiger down. Quite a loss there for Steffen, for Germany, and of course Deutschland. Steffen really hasn't done much with the doctrine, to be honest. It definitely lacks a mistake. Comparatively, Zodiac's been making use of K1, Scotsman, submachine guns, and the strafing runs. The only thing he hasn't used is the howitzer. Comparatively, the only thing he's used is the Tiger tank. So I think definite difference then. That's certainly something Steffen probably should look more into. We got more engineers on the way to help repair Zodiac's arm, which has certainly seen better days. Got the Stug moving up. They need to pin that machine gun to help deal with all the infantry. Conscripts running in, at least rushing in. And another T-34 arriving there for Zodiac and the 10th Tank Corps. K1 in desperate need of repairs. T-34 6 moving in, engaging the Grenadiers, pushing them away. Orbital Blitz, they're ready for Steffen. At this stage, he hasn't gone for it before. I don't think he's going to go for it now. They still, I think, could benefit from no officer there. But I imagine in this stage he might like to try and play for a second Tiger. We shall see. Stug more or less good to go. Needs some pin-up machine on top for added anti-infantry damage, which tend to be a good investment. Very interesting path these Eastern Grenadiers took, then trying to get to the fuel point. Flares down from Zodiac. Certainly a fan of reconnaissance there with his opponent, very good. In this case, at least he tells him that Steffen bringing everything towards the eastern victory point and to get his stuff out there. The issue is he's moving only so far there, a T-34-6, maybe 2 range support, whereas Steffen bringing up plenty of anti-tank support. There is conceding the centre victory point there to his opponent, so obviously there are some issues there. We can see Zodiac quick take advantage of to sandbag up here to make it easier for him to defend the centre victory point. So that's definitely, I think, a right decision there by Zodiac. Only forward to defending the western point here. Garth going for it. Almost got it. At least got it rendered neutral. And there you go, pinned down to the ground. But the point is neutral. It is no longer Germany's. Another T-34-6 on the way there for Zodiac. He's going for a lot of them. And Steffen's just playing for that Tiger tank. 128 versus 256. Rifkin in here trying to push through, but the country is just too well dug in. You see they got the Sis 3 moving up support here. Good hit there, T-34 down to half health. Sis 3 gaining veterancy 1. Another hit, the main gun out on Zodiac's ace T-34 crew. Heroes of the Soviet Union. And if they're not careful, heroes of the scrap heap. Another MD4 shot there for Steffen. He's getting very close to his second Tiger tank. But can the second Tiger tank really save Steffen at this stage? Will it just be a folly? K1 moving up and pushes back the Pioneers. Got Pioneers from flanked by Conscript as well. Steffen's front line forces are currently very understaffed. That's most of the back of the base here. And of course, again, he's trying to preserve manpower, getting high risk of trying to hit for the Tiger in these circumstances. Zodiac Can just go for, in terms of investment wise, much cheaper tanks. Again, just turning manpower. Big difference there from 640 for sure. So overall, Zodiak doesn't have to put half his economy on hold just to get a T-34-6, whereas again, Steffen wants to keep going for Tigers. His economy has to sort of like, you know, get put on hold several times. Field gun misses. Stuke lands the hit there on the T-34-6. There you go, almost got the T-34-6 here. He's a bit slow to retreat. Might actually get the T-34 with the Stuke, and there we go, kaput. But they should find them in from the south. Need to pull back the Stuke before it gets lost. That'd be quite a loss here for Steffen. Opening up to him the K1. They should find being engaged by the anti-tank gun. Hack white, bad news here. Need to pull back the Stuke though. And Stuke lost there. Stuke lost. Air support called in here by Zodiak on Steffen. Veteran 2 gained on the SIS-3. Veteran T2 gained. Strafing run going in. Overall step of defense here. Sending Hammer Misha staying signing to focus on targets. He probably should have just tried to focus down the K1 or the issue found, so trying to, you know, take care of both at the same time. And again, I think Steffen should just, you know, go for 2 tanks before trying to pull for a target tank, because again the 2 tanks can help keep manpower losses down, making it easier to then push for a heavy tank. But again, it mostly goes for 1 before then trying to play for a target tank, meaning the infantry suffers a lot more while he's trying to go for the heavy tank, and that makes it much harder, and of course much easier for Zodiak to delay a target tank. There we go. Second target tank ready there for Steffen in the Groß Deutschland. I just need to click the button, and there you go. Tiger effects bereit. Got the target tank rolling ahead here. Gonna be supporting. Panzerfaust in there. Good hit on the T-34 and extraction to the base here. Threatening to wipe out most of the Steffen troops if not careful. Can pursue the T-34 and 6 should be able to get it. And there we go. T-34 down. The ammunition is cooked off. Comes there bunched up. Need to be careful around the target tank. Misses the point blank range. Helmut, how could you miss? Say if it's in range. You could have spit on them and probably hit some better than that shot. My God, Helmut, hit! Damn you! 100 points left for them. There you go, good hit. Almost taking out the entire country squad. Almost wiped, but not quite. Troops rushing towards the centre victory point. Steffen needs to get victory points back for sure. And you can see the Zodiak using his T-34 to secure territory. Target tank just being rolled away from all the infantry instead of using it together with larger forces operating independently, which is definitely not what say the target tank excels. Particularly since it can't help you secure points anyways, you can grab the direct. I mean, you gotta work with infantry, which can. Instead, he's ending up losing troops now to Zodiak at a stage where he can't really afford that. Guardsman taking a hit there. Good hit on the Guardsman, landing some good hits. And another issue fired here for Zodiak. 50 and less points there for Steffen. Not good, not good. Target tank misses the Ace T-34 there. Troops moving from the north as well, going to push in it, consider calling in some air support maybe. Got the K1 moving up, 85 almost done. Probably could deal with that maximum because they want to get on the victory point. It's down to 28. Oh dear, this is kind of looking like GG. It is kind of looking like GG. Almost got the maximum here. And down it goes, leaving Zodiak short on machine gun, but overall he's still getting the victory points and Steffen isn't. Down to 10 points. Still not to tank grenade, was actually a bit of a surprise at this stage of the fight. K1 there trying to flank the target tank, there you go, veterans 1 game. Panzerfaust got the AC for the winning as well, the target tank further taking hits there. And there you go, GG, game over. A loss for the Großdeutschland, a loss for Germany. The 10th Tank Corps breaks the lines and pushes everyone onwards towards Warsaw. A grim situation here for Steffen, for Deutschland. Overall, part I think, is he just the way he tried to push for the Tiger rather than trying to get enough sufficient arms so that way storm more easily. He ended up just operating with one tank or none, which just put more of the pressure on the infantry against tanks, which of course meant it became much harder than stockpile the resources he needed to go for the Tiger tank. I think had just gone for another Panzer IV, another Stug or something like that, it would have been much easier for Steffen to more safely pull for it. I also think should have made better use of the doctrine, artillery field officer and air support. Even the Oberblitz, they could have done a lot for Steffen at time for the Zodiak, but it's never quite materialised. Comparatively, Zodiak used almost his entire doctrine except for the howitzer. So there's, I think, definitely some different things, some room for Steffen to improve upon. Both players, Zodiak mostly could have done with more mastery, and then Steffen, I think, after a certain point, just stopped mining, but he still, I think, benefited from it quite nicely. So some issues there, I think, on both players. Ultimately, I think Zodiak just played better and also much better flanker, and obviously, he didn't stake it all on the Tiger tanks increasing. I mean, that's really, again, something you have to be careful with. There's nothing wrong in going for a Tiger, but you got to make sure, again, if you're putting your entire economy on hold, you can ensure, it doesn't completely, mess you over. And while the first one didn't necessarily, the second one I think really just put Steffen in a situation where he couldn't win. So again, rule of thumb I would say is always just go for 2 medium tanks or 2 assault guns or tankers or whatever, then push for the heavy tank you want to go for. That way the medium vehicles can soak up manpower damage, doing most of that way, helping you preserve manpower until they easily call in the Tiger tank. And also necessarily put the entire economy in the hold too easily. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, subscribe, tell your friends, share it with everyone. If not, send a reply and find some feedback in the comment section. Next week, send replays in the video description. This is Imperial Cheers. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you all more tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye.